Hey everybody, this is Ori from OneScales. In today's video, I'm going to introduce to you the Google Search Console tool. It's a free tool by Google which helps you understand your site's performance in Google search result pages. So you have a website and either you're the website owner or you're a marketer or you're a technical person, you should actually connect your website to Google Search Console. You're going to verify it, and then you'll be able to see reports and data. You'll be able to work with it to improve how your website appears on the search result pages. It's really, really good for people that do SEO, for technical people, and I want to show you some examples using OneScale's website, how it works. Okay, so the first thing is you need to do is you actually need to connect your website to use Search Console, because you have to be the owner of the domain. You have to verify that you own the domain or you have access to the domain to be able to see data. You can't see other competitors or other websites' data. So how do you do that? You're actually going to go to Google Search Console and you're going to click on Add Property and you're going to put in your domain name. Now, there's two different ways to do it, either by domain or URL prefix. Really simply put, if you just have one subdomain like www.yourdomain, for example, onescales.com, you're going to use the domain one. If you have multiple subdomains, for example, you have different countries. For example, I have a france.onescales.com and I have UK. If you have different ones, you may want to use the URL prefix. But most websites, I would say 99% of the websites will use domain. If you're not sure, just do it. So for example, my website, let's just say it's onescales88.com. What I'm going to do, I'm going to click on continue and I need to verify it. So you need to be the owner. So how do you verify it? There's going to be a few different ways, but the most popular way is using DNS records. If you're not sure how to do this, just ask your technical IT person. They're going to add a record in the DNS record, either via TXT or CNAME. Going to add it, and then you click verify, and then you'll be the owner. Now, if you've already verified via Google Analytics, you can also connect the parts and it'll automatically verify, but that's just for a different topic. If you're not sure, let me know. I'll help you do that. Just ask some questions and we can kind of make some videos on that if you have any questions, but usually IT person could do that within minutes. Okay. So really simply put, when you land here, you've actually verified your domain. For example, my domain is onescales.com. You're going to arrive to the overview right here, and you're going to see a quick dashboard of overview of your site. So for example, the performance of your website, how many clicks has it received in Google, not including ad clicks. So ads in Google ads are different. This is really for organic, the free listings. How many clicks have you had by day? You can see the full report, which we'll get into it. How many pages do you have indexed? How many pages does Google know that Google has read that it appears in the search results? Okay, the experience. Google has some rankings to show you how well your website is secure via HTTPS and how the web experience is, how quick the web page loads, how it renders, how it shows the page quickly to the user, and it'll show you some mobile and desktop, and it'll give you some issues, which we'll jump into it. And the enhancements is usually using structured data, which this is more for technical, but when you have your pages, each page represents a specific idea, topic, or concept. So you can actually tag your pages with certain enhancements. For example, my website has a search box that people can search for my content, the content of OneScales, and I can actually allow people to search in the Google result pages, not just only in my website. Another might be if I'm an e-commerce site, I can actually specify that a specific product page is a product. This is the price of the product. This is is it new or used? This is the inventory amount. You can actually add a lot of enhancements via structured data. If it's an article or like a news section, this is a news article, or this is a business, you can do all kinds of enhancements. It'll show you all that stuff. Now, everything that you have here, this is a dashboard you're going to have here as well. Okay, this is just a dashboard. Okay. So next one is performance. Okay, so performance is the first box right here. You'll be able to see the trend of how your traffic is. So if you click here, you'll be able to highlight and unhighlight different things. Total clicks is how many people search for some term related to you. They clicked on your website and went to your website from Google search. Impressions is how many times did people search for a specific something's related to you, and your website appeared, but it's not about clicks. It just appeared. It was on the page that they saw it, or either on the page that was loaded. This is the impressions. This is the clicks. They've actually clicked to go to your website. This is the average click-through rate. So for example, if your website appeared 100 times and they clicked out of the 100 one time, you would have a 1% click-through rate, okay? The higher click-through rate is better. And the average position is, this is the position on the search result pages. For example, if I type in one scales right here, let's see right here. So the average position, for example, this one is position 3. This is position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So you'll be able to see the position. Now, one thing you can do is you can export it in Google Sheets or Excel, and you can actually see the data. I like to actually look at the data for longer periods of time, see how the trends are going, how they're moving forward. Now, what you can do, you can also see the search terms. Which terms have people actually searched for to see my results? Now, one thing you want to do is when you look at the data, in order to see all your data, not just impressions and positions, you're going to highlight all of them right here, and then you'll have all of these as well with data, and then you can export it or just use it right here. So you can see, for example, people typed in Google, download Google spreadsheet from link, and my website has actually appeared. One of my articles has appeared 173 times, and they've actually clicked 15 times out of that, which is a very high 8.7% click-through rate. The position is actually number 9. It's not a great position. It's not the ranking 1, 2, or 3, but it's actually getting really good clicks because it's super relevant to people. Now, you can actually not just see the queries, you can actually see the pages, which pages appear, which URLs appear, and what's their impressions and click-through rates, all that kind of stuff. Countries, devices, search appearance, if you have a specific type of enhancement, and by date, by day 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay, so this is a really useful tool. I would say this report is the report that I probably look at the most on a regular basis, maybe about once a month. I look to see how things are going, if the trend is going up, if there's any issues, which pages are more popular, things like that. So I really like to look at it, okay? Next one is URL inspection. You can either click here or you actually put the URL that you want to inspect right here. So for example, let's go to our website. Let's just go to an article that we posted. Let's go to, for example, this article right here. Okay, so I'm going to take the URL, I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to hit enter. What it's going to do is it's actually going to check that URL and give you some data how Google has read that page or not. So first of all, has Google read the page? Is it listed on Google, yes or no? It says it's not listed. Okay, so if I search for that URL, I won't be able to see it. So I already have this article. It was posted a few weeks back. That's something not good. So what I can do is actually tell Google, hey, you know what? I want you to index this. I'm going to click here, and even though it's actually recognized that it wasn't indexed, you see it was page fetch successful. So I want to index, tell it, you know what? I really want this to be in Google search results, and hopefully that'll help it be listed in Google. Okay. Now you'll be able to see in one of the next reports some issues. So you will be able to see when pages are indexed, when pages are not indexed, and you can actually manually index them or request them to be indexed. Okay. So now it's submitting the request right here. And that's it. So it says submitted, and it's actually going to have some queue. Eventually it's going to visit and it's going to try to index it. Now here you'll be able to see all these other information about the URL we just checked. For example, it was found in a sitemap, which sitemap is basically a list of all the pages on your website, and Google visits that very regularly. And you'll be able to see if there's any other pages referring. Are there any other pages on the website that actually link to this page? If not, you probably want to have that. When was it crawled last? This was actually a while ago. This is about 2 months ago. It was crawled last. And Google smartphone, basically the bot that reads the websites or the pages across the internet, has actually visited. It is allowed to be crawled. It's not blocked. I didn't tell Google, hey, I don't want you to index this or read this. Is it allowed to index? Is it allowed to crawl? This is all via the robots.txt, which we'll talk about a little later. And that's it. You'll be able to see if there's any enhancements, like it's an e-commerce page, or it's a category, or it's a business page, or it's a search page, or something like that. Okay. So everything looks okay. That's it. I did this, and everything's okay. If you want to retest it, you can click here, test live URL. It'll re-index and then check if anything has been updated here. Okay. So next one is pages. These are the listed pages that Google has read, has visited my website, has visited 109 pages that is indexed and 77 pages that has not indexed. And you can see overall how it recognizes my pages. You actually see that I've been adding more and more pages over time. And there's also been more and more pages that have not been indexed. Okay. Now, what you'll be able to see is here's the reasons why pages are not indexed. So, for example, it has been crawled, but it's not indexed yet. So usually this means that there's just sometimes it takes time, right? So if I add a new page today, it doesn't mean it's going to be indexed today. It might mean it might be indexed in a few days. So you can overall see the trend and see how things. 404 means Google has visited pages, but they actually don't link to anything. So somewhere someone's linking to a page that doesn't have anything inside. So let's click here, for example. You can see the detail. And you can see here all these URLs, and you can see that this URL, for example, is a 404 page. Means it goes here. So let's copy this, for example. If I go here, it actually links there's a page that doesn't exist. So someone linked to a page that doesn't exist. Either it was a typo, an issue, or some other external website linked to this page. This page maybe got deleted or something like that, or it's a technical error. So you got to fix that. You actually need to go give your developer, say, all these pages somehow got linked. I want you to either redirect them or recreate them or do something. And you see it looks like there's some typos right here, okay? What else do we have here? We have other issues, for example, blocked by robots.txt. So robots.txt on every single website, you should have a robots.txt, which basically tell Google and Yahoo, excuse me, I made a mistake right here, right there. You should tell Google and Yahoo and all the other bots, all these other applications and programs, hey, I want you guys to visit the website or not visit, or I want you not to visit certain pages, or I want you to visit some other pages, right? So you can actually tell it what you want it to do, which robots can come, which can't, and you actually give it some rules on what to do and how to visit your website, okay? And you have some other things like page with redirect, things like that, okay? So you want to actually look at why you have issues, especially the ones that are uptrending, things that have a lot of pages of issues, and actually go ahead and try to re-index them manually or solve the technical problem that exists, okay? I can actually submit it for validation. It can actually check all the 42 pages, and then if there's an issue, I can actually fix it. We actually had an issue and it failed. I resubmitted it, it failed, so I actually have to revisit this again. Okay, great. Next one. Now, one thing I want to mention is not every website will have the same amount of listed. So, for example, we have YouTube videos that we make on our YouTube channel. Please check it out. OneScale's YouTube channel. So, if you don't have videos, you wouldn't have this section called video pages. And if you have different things, for example, like e-commerce things, you will actually have additional links right here on the left. So depending on what kind of site you have, it's a content site, an e-commerce site, a business site, a blog, you'll actually sometimes have some different things right here. So I have video pages. For example, I have videos embeds, and it'll actually specify the issue that I have right here, and I'll actually go to try to fix it. In particular, this is not an issue because it says video is not on the main content of the page. It actually is there, but it's actually scrolled down, so this is actually not an issue. It's just an alert in our case. Okay, sitemaps. We mentioned that every single website actually should have a list of all the pages that exist. Usually it's in a sitemap.xml, and if I look at these specific pages inside this, there's more sections. It actually has all these other pages right here. For example, these are all of our blog articles right here. You can see a list of all the pages that we have. Okay, so what you want to do is as soon as you actually set up your new search console, you actually want to add a new sitemap. So you're going to actually find the URL. Most websites are just the website domain /sitemap.xml. You'll check that if it's okay. If it's okay, you go here, you type it in, you click submit, and then it'll actually submit it so Google can recrawl that very, very regularly to check if there's any changes to your pages. Okay, removals. If you have a very specific case, this is not popular for most people, but if you have a specific case, you want to urgently remove your content from Google. Maybe there's something like a leak of information or something personal that you want to do. You can actually request it to have a new request to remove that content from Google. The other ways, the more safe way, the better ways is you actually redirect those pages, delete those pages, do something so actually it can remove it in the better way. But if you have something urgent, you actually can go here and submit a new request. Okay. Next one is page experience. This is a way for Google to try to help you enhance your website for your visitors. Make the website more mobile friendly, make it faster, make sure it's using HTTPS, which is a secure communication between your website on your web server and the customer's browser. When they browse, it means the data is submitted or transferred securely. Okay, and you can actually see this data. So if I click here, you'll be able to see if there's any data. You can see what you need to improve. If there's improvements, you'll be able to see them here. Things like CLS, things like that. So basically, how your website loads, how quickly it loads, how it renders, how it shows. Is it missing things when the page load? Is it too slow? Things like that. HTTPS we talked about is just the communication. You want to make sure that all your website pages are using HTTPS right here. Okay. So next one, these are the enhancements. So depending on what kind of website you have and what kind of code you've added, you'll be able to have some enhancements. We basically have a search box that you can search on our website via google.com, not only via our website. Okay, so let's go right here. This is the search box is basically this one. You can actually put this on Google itself. Okay, and if you have other enhancements like e-commerce or blog or other things like that, it'll actually appear here, and you'll be able to see that. Now, for SEO, you really want to have structured data. You want to have enhancements. You have to ask your developer to add some basic code, some JavaScript code on all your pages that have some kind of enhancement to tell Google this is about, this kind of topic. Okay. Next one is security and manual actions. If your website was hacked, you're going to have security issues. Google is going to tell you, hey, your website is hacked. This is the issue, is what we found. You need to fix it quickly. If it is hacked, people will not be able to find you on Google because Google will not let people arrive to your website. You need to fix it quickly. You'll get both an email alert from Google Search Console and you'll be able to see it here. Manual actions is if you did something spammy, you try to manipulate the search results, Google can actually give you a manual action, either delist you from Google so people can't find you, or give you some kind of temporary issue. You can actually go ahead and resubmit yourself, fix the issue, don't do things that are spammy, obviously, and fix it and then resubmit yourself, okay? And legacy tools, these are tools that mostly don't work. There's some things that work, but because we did the verification of domain, not the, remember when we verified the account in the beginning, there's two sections, the left-hand side and the right-hand side. If you do the left-hand side, this doesn't work at all. If you do the right-hand side and you have an old Google Search Console account, you'll be able to see a few additional reports, such as the search structured data report, but it's not really relevant for most people. That's it. Links. Part of SEO is the more links you have, the more other websites link to you, the better you have for your SEO. Here you'll be able to see both your internal links, how your pages reference other pages on your website, and how other websites link to you and which pages they link to. For example, you can see here we have all these websites. For example, github.com links to one of our pages. I can see that data. It'll actually link to us. And you can see all this data mostly for your SEO and how other people talk about you. Okay, settings. This is a way for you to actually see your verification, that you're verified here. Add some other users, other employees or other IT that you want to actually be able to access this Search Console. Here's where you can actually connect Google Analytics to Search Console. We made a video showing how you can see Search Console data in your Google Analytics, which I'll link. And that's it. Some basic information like robots.txt crawl stats, how often Google has actually visited your website in the last, for example, 90 days. That's it. That's really overview, a quick thing using onescales.com website for Search Console. If you have any questions, you want to go deeper, we've been using Search Console for, I don't know, more than 10 years. There's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of details to this. If you have specific questions, specific issues, you're not sure what to do, you have a reconsideration request, you have a technical issue, ask us in the comments. We're here to make a community to help you guys. This is the goal. This is what we're trying to do with OneScales, is help you guys do better, improve, do better online, be more savvy, understand things in a simple way. And if you have any questions, let us know. Ask in the comments on YouTube. Go to onescales.com. Comment on our article. Ask in our comments. That's it. We have a lot of things on social media. We're also there. Ask us any questions. We're here to help you guys. We're here also to learn from you guys. So as always, much appreciated. It really means a lot. If you did like this video, please like, please subscribe, please share. It really helps us. We're trying to grow here and be found by others as well. So thank you very much. Take care, guys.